It's time for the first episode in the new Geordie Chef kitchen. I'm going to talk you through the supper clubs I do course by course. First thing I'm going to teach you is going to be the starter we've got on. We're going to have a lovely little tartlet that's got like a tom yum jam, some blended tofu, a little bit of Thai basil mayonnaise, some nice tomatoes in there, and a few extra little bits and bobs of garnish that I'll talk you through. And then underneath, we're going to make a wonderful consommé. Like a tomato essence. So this was originally brought around by Raymond Blanc. It's his sort of recipe, but I was thinking, why don't I do that but make a Thai twist on it? Lots of blended tomatoes with lovely galangal, lime leaf, lemongrass, and we'll hang it and all the lovely juice that will come out of the bottom will just be a pure tomato essence. So you'll have your lovely rich tart and you'll follow on with a little bit of the consommé just to cleanse the palate for the next courses. That's a smart Geordie. We've got your main bulk ingredients. You can have tomato, fennel, celery, little bit of garlic is going to be raw, and peppers. Then you've got your large aromats. We've got coriander, lime leaves, lemongrass, and galangal. So that's all stuff that classically goes into a delicious tom yum soup. And then at the end is going to be the seasoning. So you're going to have lime juice, fish sauce, and palm sugar. I'm winging all of this, okay? You just do it by eye, and then at the end we'll have a taste and a season. So here you have all your lovely aromats. Lots of galangal, lots of lemongrass, lots of lime leaves, bit of spring onion, and coriander. So I've got a lot more of this. This is just to show you what it is. So as you can see, I've got lots of tomatoes. So that's everything chopped in a nice big bowl now. Forgot to mention earlier, the nicer tomatoes you buy, the nicer this is going to be. But you get them all in the bowl with a pinch of salt, and all that salt's going to release the moisture from everything and leave it to marinate for, half an hour. Nice glug of fish sauce, bit of salt. I've got nice clean hands. Just give all that a little massage. And yeah, just give that a little chance to marinate a little bit there. It's a tom yum soup at the end of the day, so it's got to be a bit spicy. So I'm going to bang a little Thai chili in. I'm obsessed with these things at the minute. I eat them with every single meal. I know it's a bit bad. Now, don't judge me too much for doing little tricks and cowboy stuff because I'm doing a 7-course tasting menu all by myself. All this tom yum paste, there is a lot of oil that's come to the top of it from whoever made it. Now, I don't want to put that in the consommé, because that is going to de-clarify everything and make everything go a bit cloudy. But what I am going to do is there's all this oil that's come to the top. So I was going to do a Thai basil oil, but I thought, why not? If I've got all that lovely tom yum oil, fill that up in a little squeezy bottle. And then you can just do a couple of little drops of that on the top. Did a fucking giant install these or something? Right, so I brought you around this side to show you everything. So this has had a marinade for about half an hour. All the salt started to release a lot of the juice from the vegetables. All the flavors are starting to come together. In here, I've got a pan. They're very cute. And that's just going to sit on there. And then this is muslin cloth. So this is just a very fine cloth, which will catch all the bits and just the essence will just fall through. Right, there we go. That's more than enough there, okay? More than enough. So I've just had a little bit of a taste of the juice that's come out and there's too much galangal and I shouldn't have put that extra fucking chili in, so I fucked it. So I'm going to put a few more tomatoes in, I'm going to balance it out. But the flavour's good, the base flavour's good, and I'm actually going to put a little bit of palm sugar in. Tip with palm sugar, grate it in, makes your life a lot easier. So there we have the beautiful consommés. You can see it's all dripping through nice and clear there. And I just hope to fucking God it's going to be enough because I'm not doing that again. So we've just come back for the day and we have quite a nice big yield out of this. So all this in here and we have all this in here. So I'll transfer this into a tub and I will actually freeze it now. And freezing it, when you defrost it over a J-cloth, it'll help clarify even further. So all this leftover pulp and powder, you can actually dehydrate it and blend it into a powder. So I'll probably do that overnight and use that to dust the tart with. Right, so we're back the next morning. The consommé has been frozen overnight. So what I've got now is I've just got the muslin cloth, perforated tray straight into a shallow tray. Get these straight out the freezer. So you'll see it'll be fairly cloudy now, and any sort of impurities in there, what will happen is as it defrosts, don't wobble it and move it around too much. All the impurities will set and cling to the top and all the clear juice will drip through. So you can do this to clarify lots of things really, but it works particularly well with this tomato consommé. So just leave that to slowly drip through like that, yeah? So I've got a couple of bits going on, but I just wanted to very quickly show you this. So this is all the powder left over from the consommé. It's got all the lemongrass in, tomato powder, everything. So I'm just dehydrating it. It's getting there now. It might take half a day or overnight, and then it'll be really crispy and we'll blend it into a powder. I've got a little bit of fermented tomato powder that I'll put in there to give a bit of sourness as well, and then we'll dust the tartlet in that before we dress it. So next we're going to start with a little tartlet that goes on the top of the dish. So these are little tart rings. You can get loads of different shapes. I really like these ones. It gives like quite a substantial size. And this is brick pastry. I'd already made this last time. You can get it online. It's called, I think it's called Feu de Brick. And basically what you do is you get clarified butter and you brush the tart with butter. And then you stick all the sheets together and then you cut them out the perfect size like that. And then I've just put them in the freezer, so they'll last in the freezer for ages. So it's really important that you get these tarts nice and central like that, and then press them on top, okay? So really nice and central, really nice and even, and then one nice quick press down like that. And then just have a little check down all the sides to make sure that the tart is evenly distributed, and then you can stack 3 on top of each other. Right, so these are all pressed in there now. Just make sure they're really nicely squished down, and 15 minutes, 160. So whilst we're waiting for the tarts to cook, we can blend the tom yum powder. So if you can see, it's like really dry, really crumbly. So what we'll do is we'll just give it a good whiz in the Vitamix to make a nice lovely powder. I did put a little squeeze of tomato puree in there as well, just to give it a nice bit of colour. Just give it a very small little taste. It tastes like tom yum, which is very exciting. What you can do with your powders, I've got some fermented tomato powder here. So basically, that is some tomatoes that are fermented and dehydrated. So that's already got like natural lactic acid and loads of other things in there, and salt. But you can put like a pinch of citric acid in, a little bit of icing sugar if it needs to be sweet there, and then obviously a bit of salt if it needs it. Let's give that one last little whiz and have a little try. Another small little try. Wow, that's made it more delicious. I'll put a bit of salt in, maybe a pinch of sugar, and then it'll be lovely. So another little tip I do, because these powders, they tend to clump up and go, you know, a bit lumpy, and that's not what we want. So you can buy these online, silica packs. I usually just chuck a couple in there, and then back on the fucking dish pit. You'd be surprised how much dish needs doing for a 7-course tasting menu. Tarts are ready. And I'll just leave these up on this lovely rack here, just to chill down for a bit. Right, so for the tom yum jam, forgive my dishes over there, I'm just getting to the point where I can't make everything look perfect every single second, so you're just gonna have to see how it runs, okay? Nice warm pan I've got in there. Let me get a little spoon. Nice big dollop of this tom yum paste. Luckily it's not a very spicy one, so I can go pretty hard on it. So we'll give that a good little fry off with a bit of tomato puree. That's just going to assist with a bit of depth and richness and also a bit of colour. Right, so that's had a good fry just for a minute or so. There's already quite a lot of oil in the paste, so I haven't put any extra in. I've got a mixture of diced tomatoes, so all that can go in now. So we'll just let that cook down for a minute or so. And then for the sugar element, I've actually made a bit of a caramel. Just going to add a little level of depth and a little level of richness in there. I'm not going to put it all in. That'll just melt down in there. It might harden up at the start, but it'll melt down. So you can see here now, I've just got it all started nice and hot, then I'm going to turn it down and I'm just going to leave that to release all its moisture, really intensifying flavour, let all that sugar dissolve. So the tarts are ready, so let's just have a little look inside. They've cooled down just enough to hold them, and wow, look at that. There we go. So perfect, nice nutty brown colour. So we'll make the wild garlic mayonnaise now. So I've gone just one egg yolk, literally ½ a teaspoon of mustard. So literally just a little pinch of salt like that is more than enough. And And I'm just gonna go for lime juice. You'd usually put vinegar in the base of a mustard, but I'm actually gonna use lime juice. Nice little squirrel of that in. So I'd usually go to about 1 egg yolk. I'd go about 200 mils of oil. I've got the bowl resting on a little bit of paper cloth here. I put the bowl on here. I put the oil or the mayonnaise either in a squeezy bottle, and then I hold the back of the bowl with my hand, pour it in, and then squeeze it against my belly like that. Give everything a good whisk first, and then you can just gradually start adding your oil. Now I've made a lot of green emulsions in my time. I know the lighting's not great here, but look at the colour of that. Right, so we're back to the Tom Yum jam now, and tomato jam, so if you can see, that's really thickened up nicely now. I'm not gonna reduce it any more than that. By the time it chills down, all the pectin in the tomatoes and all the sugar will thicken it up nicely. So I've tasted that, it's delicious. I'll put a little bit of palm sugar in as well. Cannot get a beautifully smooth puree, or anything properly smooth, without this Vitamix. I think it's got like 3 horsepower in or something. Whoa, that's another rule. Always remember to turn that down, because if you turn it on and haven't got the lid on, it would have fucking exploded everywhere, so I'm very lucky. About 30 seconds! So now, if there's any extra bits in there, or bits of skin, we're gonna pass that through a shim nicely, and we'll put it in a piping bag. Some more fucking washing up. So next we'll do the tofu element. It says firm tofu, but this brand's not. It's sent me down quite a few times. But what I'll do is I've got a little bit of these nutritional yeast flakes. So these can be good to add like a little bit of cheesiness or a bit of nuttiness and a little bit of extra flavour to sort of things like tofu or anything a bit bland. So this is just to add like an element of richness and creaminess. Get out the fucking packet. There she is. Nice little squeeze of lime in there. Ooh, it's cowboy in it, so just get a little bit of that in there, not too much. Good pinch of salt, it'll need it. So in here we've got the tofu, the yeast, some lime juice, a little bit of this yeast powder, and some salt. We'll give it a good whiz now. It's quite loose, so I'm just going to add half a teaspoon of Ultratex. This is like a really nice thickening agent. It doesn't have to be boiled like corn flour or anything. So there we go. That'll be absolutely perfect now for piping. Just right. The ring. So we've got a bit of nasturtium, coriander, sea aster to go on the tomatoes. So the tartlet's been dusted in some powder, and then on top we'll get the jam, the tofu and the mayonnaise. A little bit of Thai basil, some diced tomatoes and some fennel fronds. Very cute little bowl. So you've got your little canapé starter on the top there. And then underneath you've got all your consomme and everything. It's pretty fucking good. Nice acidity, nice creaminess. You can get the wild garlic still. A little bit of freshness from a bit of tomato there, so I'd send that 100%. Get a nice scoop. So yeah, you can get all the lovely fresh herbs, all the consomme and everything. It's good, but I think when you eat it with all the tomatoes, it drowns it out a bit. It's very refreshing. What you can get as a chef as well, your palate's so used to highly seasoned things that when something's nice, you think it's not. So it's probably spot on. I might dress the tomatoes in a bit of fish sauce or something. Or a bit of salt. Might not put the tofu in. If you can see, tofu's gone a little bit sticky. So I might not put the tofu, I might put the tomato jam in instead. That might bring a little element. I think we'll squeeze a lime away from something very beautiful. So, thanks for watching. Hopefully the videos get better with time. Stay tuned for the next one, and I hope you learned something.